阿们。
好，
阿们。
我们把时间交给今天的主持人。好 ，Jane， 好，麻烦你。
好的 ，Jane 老师。今天的领读老师是哪一位？
今天的领读就是我，就是 Jane。
哦 ，Yeah。好的。Okay, so we will start from number 77 last time. So this time we will start from Felicity, number 86. Felicity, 请跟老师打招呼，谢谢。
Okay, thank you. Hello, Jen. This is Felicity. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 20.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 20.
And he asked them, Whose portrait is this?
Whose portrait is this?
And whose inscription?
And who inscription?
Whose inscription?
Whose inscription?
That's right.
Thank you, Jen.
Good, thank you.
Next number 127, John.
Hello, Jen. This is John. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 21.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 21.
Caesar's, they replied.
Caesar's, they replied.
Then he said to them, Give to Caesar.
Give to Caesar.
What is Caesar's?
What is Caesar's?
And to God.
And to God.
What is God's?
What is God's? Thank you, Jen.
Very good.
Next. 222. How? Susie.
Hello, Jen. This is Susie. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 22.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 22.
When they heard this, they were amazed. So they left him. And went away.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. Good.
Next. 239, Teresa.
Hello, Jen. This is Teresa. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 23.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 23.
That same day, the Sadducees, who said there is no resurrection. Very good. Came to him with a question. Very good.
Thank you, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Next number 246, Eagle, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Eagle. 5 words, please.
Okay, Eagle. Matthew chapter 22, verse 24.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 24.
Teacher, they said. Moses told us that if a man dies without having children, his brother must marry the widow and have children for him. Very good. Mm-hmm.
Next, 259, Enoch, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Maxwell, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 25.
Matthew chapter 21, verse 25.
No. Matthew chapter 22,
chapter 22,
verse 25.
verse 25.
Now there were 7 brothers among us.
7 brothers and us.
7 brothers. 7 brothers among us. The first one married and died.
Married and died.
Married.
Married.
Married
Married
and died.
and died.
And since he had
And see his hair
since
and
since he had no children,
no children,
he left his wife
he left his wife
to his brother.
to his brother. Thank you.
Very good.
Next, 275, Jenny, please.
Hi, Jen. This is Jenny. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 26.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 26.
The same thing happened
The same thing happened
to the second and third brother,
to the second and the third brother,
right on down to the seventh.
the seventh. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Next, number 4, Mary, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Mary. 5 words, please.
Okay, finally, the woman died.
Finally, the woman died. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Great. Okay, next one, 14, Grace Lee, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Grace Lee. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 28.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 28.
Now then,
Now then,
at the resurrection,
at the resurrection, whose wife will she
be of the 7?
be of the 7?
Since all of them were married to her.
We are married to her.
Very good.
Thank you.
Next, 18, Esther, please.
Hi, Jean. This is Esther. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 29.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 29.
Jesus replied, You are in error.
You are in error.
Because you do not know
the
scriptures or the power of God.
The scriptures or the power of God.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean.
Next, 25, Sally, please.
Hello, Jay. This is Sally. 3 words, please.
Okay. At the resurrection.
At the resurrection.
People will neither marry.
People will neither marry
nor be given in marriage.
not be given in marriage.
They will be like.
They will be like.
The angels in heaven.
The angels in heaven. Thank you, Jane.
Very good.
Next one, 27. Ever, please. Ever, 你在吗？27号 Ever， 请你开麦。54号 Ruth, please.
Hello, Jane. This is Ruth. 3 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 31.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 31.
But about the resurrection.
But about the resurrection.
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 Of the dead.
Of the dead.
Have you not read?
Have you not read?
What God said to you?
What God said to you.
Very good.
Next, Stephen, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Stephen. 5 words, please.
Okay. I am the God of Abraham.
I am the God of Abraham.
The God of Isaac.
The God of Isaac.
And the God of Jacob.
And the God of Jacob.
He is not the God of.
He is not the God of.
The dead, but of the living.
The dead, but of the living. Thank
Very
you, Jen.
good.
Next, Eunice, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Eunice. 3 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 33.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 33.
When the crowds.
When the crowds.
Crowds. Heard this. They were astonished.
They were astonished.
Astonished. Astonished. Astonished.
Astonished.
At his teaching.
At his teaching.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Jen.
Okay, that's all for the first round of our reading. Is there anyone I missed? 第一圈有没有我漏掉的？如果有的话，请你举手。好，如果没有的话，我们就再从 Felicity 开始。好，请。
我落一个，我刚才举手了，你没看见吗
？Sorry， Ever， yeah， 好的 ，Ever， 请你跟老师读。
77号。
27号 Ever。
77号。
Hello, Jane. This is Ever. 5 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 34.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 34.
22, verse 34. Okay. Hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees.
Had silenced the Sadducees.
The Pharisees got together.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
好的，下位请77号 Christina, please.
Jane, this is Christina. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 35.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 35.
One of them,
an
expert in the law, tested him with this question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next, 86, Felicity, please.我们开始第二圈，第一位 Felicity， 你在吗？请你跟老师读。好，要不然等一下，
没声音。
老师，我跟你读。
Okay, sure. Matthew chapter 22, verse 36.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 36.
Teacher, which is the greatest?
Which is the greatest
commandment in the law?
Commandment in the law. Thank you,
Felicity, 刚刚是不是声音可以打开了吗？
好 Felicity， 现在请你开麦。我们听不到你的声音。
那等一下好了，就下去再上来。
好，我们请下一位。127号 John, please.
Hello, Jenny. This is John. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 37.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 37.
Jesus replied.
Jesus replied.
Love the Lord.
Love the Lord.
Your God.
Your God.
With all your heart.
With all your heart.
And with all your soul.
And with all your soul.
And with all your mind.
And with all your mind. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
好 Felicity, 你现在试试看。还不行是吗？那好，那我们有请163号 Jack John, please. 163号 Jack John, are you there? Next one, 222, Susie, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Susie. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 38.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 38.
This is the first.
This is the first.
And greatest commandment.
And greatest commandment. Thank you.
Very good.
Felicity, 你可以吗？
Hello, 听到我声音吗？
Yeah.
听不到。可以啊。
非常好。
Okay, thank you. Hello, Jen. This is Felicity. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 39.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 39.
And the second.
And the second.
Is like it.
Is like it.
Love your neighbor.
Love your neighbor.
As yourself.
As yourself. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. 163号 Jack, 你现在可以吗？好，我们有请239号 Teresa, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Teresa. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 40.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 40.
All the law.
All the law.
and the prophets.
And the prophets.
Hang on.
Hang on.
These 2 commandments.
These 2 commandments.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Next, 246号 Eagle, please.
Hello, Jane. This is Eagle. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 41.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 41.
While the Pharisees were gathered together. Very good.
Jesus asked them.
Jesus asked them. Jesus asked them. Good, thank
Jesus
you.
asked them.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, next one. 275号 Jenny, please.
Hi, Jen. 5 words, please.
Okay, Jenny. Matthew chapter 22, verse 42.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 42.
What do you think?
What do you think?
About the Christ.
About the Christ.
Whose son is he?
Whose son is he?
The son of David.
The son of David.
They replied.
They replied. Thank
Very
you.
good. Mm-hmm.
好，我们有请259号 Enoch. Enoch, 请你开麦。
Hello, Jane. This is Enoch. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 43. Matthew chapter 22, verse 43.
Verse 33.
He said to them,
to
them, how is it?
How is it?
Then that
David,
speaking by the Spirit.
Wait.
No. Spirit.合起来 Spirit. Very good. Calls him Lord. For he says. Very good. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
好，我们有请 Mary, please.
Hello, Jane. This is Mary. 3 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 44.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 44.
The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand.
Sit at my right hand.
Until I put your enemies under your feet.
And your feet.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Jane 在吗？
Sorry, number 14, Grace Lee, please.
Oh.
Hello, Jane. This is Grace Lee. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 45.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 45.
If then David,
In that David,
if then David
if then David
calls him Lord, how can he be his son? Very good.
Thank you, Jean.
Thank you.
Next 18. Esther, please.
Hey, Jane, this is Esther. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 46.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 46.
No one could say a word.
No one could say a word.
In reply.
And
from that day on, are you there? 掉了吗？
好像没网络了。
OK。
那我们下一位。
OK。
Esther 可以听到你的声音吗？
这会儿能听见我的声音吗？
可以了。
OK，
可以。
Good.
Sorry.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 46.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 46.
No one could say a word.
No one could say a word.
In reply. And from that day on. No one dared to ask him any more questions. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next 25. Sally, please.
Hello, Jay. This is Sally. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 1.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 1.
Then Jesus said
to
the crowds
and
to his disciples.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Next 27, Ever.
Hello, Jane. This is Ever. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 2.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 2.
The teachers of law and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
Thank you, Jane.
Right. Thank you.
Next 54, Ruth.
Hello, Jane. This is Ruth. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 3.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 3.
So you must obey them. And do everything they tell you. Very good. Oh, but okay. do not do what they do. For they do not practice what they preach.
Thank you,
Very
Jane.
good. Very good.
Next 58, Stephen.
Hello, Jen. This is Stephen. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 4.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 4.
They tied up heavy loads
and put
them on men's shoulders.
and put them on men's shoulders.
But they themselves
are
not willing to lift a finger to move them.
Thank you.
Very
Jen.
good. Thank you.
Next, we are going to have number 77. Christina, please.
Hi, Jane. This is Christina. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23.
Matthew chapter 23.
Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Everything they do
is
done for men to see.
Is done for men to see.
They make their okay, 我单独念这个字. They make their phylacteries wide and the tassels
on
their garments long. Very good. Thank you.
Next, we are going to have number 85. Eunice, please.
Thank you. Hello, Jen. This is Eunice. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 6.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 6.
They love the place.
They love the place
of honor.
Of honor.
Honor. At banquets.
And the banquets.
And the most important seat.
And the most important.
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 Important seat.
Important seat.
In the synagogues.
In the synagogue.
Very good. Thank you.
That's all for our second round of reading. Is there anyone I missed? If yes, please put up your hands, please. 又到了我们的地标的 Felicity 了。那请问这道第2圈的跟读有没有我落下的哪一位同学？如果有的话，请你举手，谢谢。好，有请 Jack Zhang， 请跟老师打招呼。Jack Zhang, are you there? 听不到你的声音。看你打开麦了，但是听不到你的声音。你可不可以换个设备，或者下去再上来再试一下，然后您再举手，我再给您开麦听，再来读好吗？还有哪位同学刚才没有读的 ？Okay, we will start from the third round of reading. 好，我们要开始第3圈的跟读了。好，有请第1位同学 Felicity。好，请你开麦。
Hello, Jen. This is Felicity. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 7.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 7.
They love to be greeted.
They love to be greeted.
In the marketplaces.
In the marketplaces.
And to have men call.
And to have men call.
Them rabbi.
Them rabbi.
Very good.
Thank you, Jen.
Next is 127. John, please. John, are you there? John, 为什么今天这么多没有声音 ？John 听不到你的声音，还是？或者你先等一下，然后我等一下你再举手好吗？好，谢谢。我们再请下一位同学，222号 Susie, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Susie. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 8.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 8.
But you are not to be called Rabbi.
But you are allowed to be called Rabbi.
Rabbi, yes. Okay. For you have only one master.
One master.
And you are all brothers.
And you are all brothers. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
好，127号 John， 我看到您上线了，您开麦试试看。还是没有声音。Sorry, we still could not hear your voice. 对不起，张，我们还是听不到。那我们再请下一位哈。好，我们请 Susie， 你刚才有读过吗？
对。
好，那就请239号Teresa, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Teresa. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 9.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 9.
And do not call anyone on earth Father.
Anyone on earth Father.
For you have one Father.
For you have one Father.
And he is in heaven.
And he is in heaven.
Very good.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
好，我们请246号 Eagle, please.
Hello, Jane. This is Eagle. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 10.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 10.
Nor are you to be called teacher.
Be called teacher.
For you have one teacher.
For you have one teacher.
The Christ.
The Christ. Thank you, Jane.
Very good. Thank you.
Next, we are going to have 259 Enoch, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Enoch. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23.
Matthew chapter 23.
Verse 11.
Verse 11.
The greatest among you will be your servant.
Thank
Very
you.
Good. Thank you.
Next number is 275. Jenny, please.
Hi, Jen. This is Jenny. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 23, verse 12.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 12.
For whoever exalts himself will be humbled. And whoever humbles himself will be exalted.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next number is number 4, Mary. Please.
Hello, Jane. This is Mary. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 20.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 20.
And he asked them, whose portrait is this?
Whose portrait is this?
And whose inscription?
And whose inscription?
Inscription.
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 Very good. Inscription. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Next is number 14. Grace Lee, please.
Hello, Jane. This is Grace Lee. 3 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 21.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 21.
Caesar's, they replied.
Caesar's, they replied.
Then he said to them. Give to Caesar.
Give to Caesar.
What is Caesar's?
What is Caesar's?
And to God.
And to God.
What is God's?
What is God's?
Very
Thank
good.
You.
Next is 18. Esther, please.
Hello, Jane. This is Esther. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 22.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 22.
When they heard this, they were amazed. So they left him. And went away.
Thank you, Jane.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Next is 25. Sally, please.
Hello, Jay. This is Sally. 5 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 23.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 23.
That same day.
The
Sadducees. Who said there is no resurrection. Came to him with a question.
Thank you, Jane.
Very good.
Next is number 27. Ever, please. Ever.
Hello, Jim. Ever's here. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 24.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 24.
Teacher, they said. Moses told us that if a man dies without having children,
without having children.
His brother must
marry
the widow
and
have children
for him.
Thank you.
Jane.
That's number 58. Stephen, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Stephen. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22.
Matthew chapter 22.
Verse 25.
Verse 25.
Now there were 7 brothers.
Now there were 7 brothers.
Among us. The first one married and died. And since he had no children, he left his wife to his brother.
Thank you, Jen.
Very good.
That's number 77. Christina, please.
Hi, Jen. This is Christina. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 26.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 26.
Okay, the same thing happened.
The same thing happened
to the second and third brother.
To the second and third brother.
Very good. Okay, right on down.
Right on down.
To the 7th.
To the 7th. Thank you,
Very
Jim.
good.
Next, number 85. Eunice, please.
Hello, Jen. This is Eunice. 3 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 27.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 27.
Finally,
the
woman died.
Thank
Very
you,
good.
Jen.
Okay, that's all for our third round of reading. 我看到 Jack 这样你上来了，你愿意读吗？你可以开麦试一下，好不好？
好。
听到你声音了，太好了。
好的。Hello, Jen. This is Jack Zhang. 3 words, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 22, verse 28.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 28.
Okay. Now then, at the resurrection, whose wife will she be?
Whose wife will she be?
Of the 7.
Of the 7.
Since all of them were married to her. Very good.
OK, 我们要从 Felicity 开始了。好，最后一位，请 Felicity， 谢谢。
Hello, Jen. This is Felicity. 5 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 29.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 29.
Jesus replied.
You are in error.
Because you do not know the scriptures or the power of God.
Thank you, Jane.
Okay.
127号，张，你愿意试一下吗 127号。
Hello, Jen. This is John. 3 words, please.
Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 30.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 30.
Okay, at the resurrection.
At the resurrection.
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 People will neither marry nor be given in marriage. They will be like the angels in heaven.
The angels in heaven. Thank you, Jane.
Very good. Thank you.
好的，我们今天就读到127号，谢谢俊老师。以下是见证的时间。今天我见证的题目是爱。记得圣诞节之前，我们在感恩节之后的第2天，我做的见证是种子。那今天我将再继续我上次做的见证。上次是见证我的姥爷，他蒙恩受洗归入基督。在他受洗之前，2月16日，就是2010年的2月16日的下午6点钟，2010年2月16日，正好是12年前的今天。他说，谁相信神的存在，神必保护他。5天以后，他就受洗归入基督。今天我想跟大家在做见证的时候分享的是一首歌《你的信是广大的》里面的2句词，因为今天我们包括Jeff 牧师，包括Jane 老师，他们分享的都是爱的主题哈。那这个你的信是广大，它的题目，它的歌词说，你的信是广大，我神我天父，在你永远没有转动影儿，永不改变，父神每天施怜悯，无始无终，上主施恩不尽，春夏秋冬4季，有栽种收成，日月星辰时刻运转不停，宇宙万物都见证造物主宰，述说天父丰盛信实慈爱。我要说的就是宇宙万物都见证造物主宰，述说天父丰盛信实慈爱。那我现在要见证的就是爱。我们用一生谱写爱之歌，我们的生命就是丰盛的筵席，其中有爱，有喜乐，还有平安，还有无数美好的回忆。我现在要讲的一件事儿就是有一个人，这个人大家都知道。那现在就是分享我的姥姥，她在我小的时候，我可亲的姥姥，她对我说过，她这一辈子最感激的一个人就是孙中山。那时候我的姥姥她很小，约4、5岁的时候，在山东青岛的继妹老家，我姥姥的娘要给她包小脚，就是在中国，在封建社会，在旧社会的时候，中国的女人还是要包小脚，大家都知道，就是用很长的布，一层一层的紧紧的包裹住这女孩子的双脚，不让脚再长大。这种做法非常残酷，我们也看到了。就是今天我们还看到很多的博物馆有那种3寸金莲的 那种小脚女人穿过的鞋子。那当时我的姥姥很痛，她包了几天就哭着不让再包了因为小孩子才4、5岁，她也不懂，她就挣扎着不要再包。可是她的娘说，好闺女，不是好闺女，不是你娘，不是你娘狠心，你要是不包小脚长大后就嫁不出去了说闺女，不是你娘狠心，不是你妈狠心，你要是不包小脚，长大后就嫁不出去了。就这样，我的姥姥每天都在被血就是渗出来的那种包裹布中，在痛苦中一天天的挨着直到有一天，姥姥高兴的飞快的从街上飞跑回家大声的激动的喊着叫着她的娘说，娘，街上来了好多兵，街上来了好多兵，他给过路的男子们都剪掉了他们的那些长辫子了还喊着让女子无论是年轻的还是年小，就是大的小的，都让女子放脚了快，娘，给我剪刀，快点给我剪刀，把我脚上的这些布快点都给我剪掉。那些兵说以后都不用再包脚了，是真的，娘，是真的。从此就是在那时候，我的姥姥她的脚就放开了，很万幸，她的脚后来就没有再受束缚就跟我们现在一样，跟我们每一位现在中国的女子都是这样的自然生长的一双脚了。从那时开始，我的姥姥记住了拯救中华儿女脱离深重苦难的这个伟大的名字孙中山。感谢我们的国父孙中山。等我来到中国广东的珠海工作的时候，我才知晓，原来珠海和中山原来就是珠海市原来是隶属于中山县，都曾同为是一个县。就是这原来我在这里居住的地方，原来就是孙中山的故乡。在珠海的教堂新旧约经览的课程中，我得知孙中山在他14岁左右的时候，他的妈妈带着他出国读书，到了美国檀香山。他14岁在美国的檀香山一间基督学校读书的时候认识了主。3年后，也就是他17岁的时候，孙中山决志归向耶稣基督。他在18岁的时候在香港正式受洗，之后他回到他的故乡中山的翠亨村也就是我们也有去看过的中山纪念馆，就是他的中山故居。他回到了他的故乡中山翠亨村，向同伴不停地宣传拜偶像是迷信，也向他的左邻右舍宣传他的拜偶像是迷信。当他看到邻居家门口都供着关公、财神之类的偶像，他见了一个就砸一个，他见一个就砸，一边砸一边振振有词地说，我看你奈我何，我看你奈我何。吓得左邻右舍纷纷跑来找孙中山的父亲说，赶快让你家的少爷走吧。就这样，孙中山他从砸烂街坊邻居的迷信偶像开始，直到砸烂全中国2000多年来的封建智库和沉重的枷锁。 在他推翻中国帝制的伟大历史运动背后，一直有一个超凡的力量在支持着他，那就是神的力量。孙中山就是神赐恩拯救苦难中国的一个伟大器皿。感谢神，也感谢神的带领，让我能来到孙中山的故乡，并得以在他的故乡认识神，归于基督，从而做神家里的孩子。何等的感恩！感谢赞美神，感谢耶稣救恩临到我家，感谢圣灵浇灌，感念父爱永恒。感谢主，谢谢大家。好，这就是我的分享。
谢谢 Jane， 非常非常精彩，谢谢谢谢，太棒了，真好。
感谢神，伟大的神。
感谢神。好，我们请屏幕同工上Lord's Prayer， 谢谢主祷文。
好，请大家一起跟 Jane 老师一起读主祷文。
The Lord's Prayer.
The Lord's Prayer.
Our Father in heaven.
Our Father in heaven.
Hallowed be your name.
Hallowed be your name.
Your kingdom come.
Your kingdom come.
Your will be done.
Your will be done.
On earth as it is in heaven.
On earth as it is in heaven.
Give us today.
Give us today
our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us.
And forgive us
our debt. Our debts. As we also have.
And we also have
forgiven our debtors.
Forgiven our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation.
Into temptation.
But delivered us.
From
the evil one.
From the evil one.
Okay, good. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you. 谢谢。
两个店辛苦了。
谢谢。
感谢
谢谢 Jane， 谢谢小 Jane 的见证，很棒，谢谢。
谢谢老师辛苦了。
哪里？